Welcome back, everyone. Uh, I did a little homework this morning because it wouldn't be winter unless we had the Winter Carnival in Lake George region. And obviously, because of the pandemic, there were some challenges with that. Well, lo and behold, a bunch of community leaders got together and said, well, we're not taking this sitting down. And they reeled in somebody who really knows the event promotion business, and that's Christian Dutcher. Yes, the same Christian Dutcher from Americade. So that'll give you the sense of the scale of what we're talking about here. And he's my guest today. Hello, Christian. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're quite welcome. We made it through the summer in Lake George, and we did better than we expected. And the reason was really that people were under so much stress that they needed to get out. And when they were thinking about getting out, and they were thinking about things like social distancing and how to keep safe and keep their families safe, obviously outdoor activities kind of rose to the top. Summer ends, we go into the shoulder season, but here comes winter. And traditionally, the Winter Carnival had been a completely different kind of event. But you got together, as I said, with a bunch of community leaders, and you came up with the idea of the Winter Festival. Christian, how does that differ from what we traditionally know of as the Winter Carnival?
It's very different. So the Winter Carnival is this great menagerie of all these events that a lot of which have spectator components. So by its very nature, it brings in a large crowd of people into the village, Lake George Village, in the town of Lake George, and encourages them to gather around and watch or participate in these crowd moments. Winterfest is very different. It's actually not really technically an event. It's more of a promotion package where we're bringing people up, and the whole concept behind it was, how do you bring a bunch of people up? Not as many as the Winter Carnival. It's hard to replace the Winter Carnival, but nonetheless, how do you bring a bunch of people up, but not get them close together, not have them congregate? So we created these events that send them out to do things out into the great outdoors. So when they arrive, they can choose from cross country skiing or mountain biking or any number of activities. So it was all about removing the crowd component, while still creating something that's appealing for people to come up from somewhere else to spend the night or to in the region.
Yeah, you just struck on a very important point. We're so fortunate in where we live that you can go out and kind of get lost in the region, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean. You
that's
might want
right.
to go mountain biking, provided you got fat tires on your mountain bike, by the way.
Mhm.
But you could do cross country skiing. Oh, and one that really caught my attention, axe throwing.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, Christian, but if you need to throw an axe, there may be an issue there.
There are actually a lot of probably people out there that are just dying to throw an axe at something. You know,
Yeah.
the axe throwing part of it was funny because I was thinking to myself, if I lived down in New York City or somewhere else, somewhere in the Northeast, and you're going up to the Great Adirondacks, what does that mean? It means having black and red plaid beards and throwing axes. It's been a popular item. People like it.
I know. And I understand that snowmobiling is already sold out. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But I love the other things. There are a lot of, again, because the community just really rallied around this. The hotels are all offering deep discounts. The
Mhm.
restaurants are all offering discounts. There's a
Mhm.
lot of effort. I talk to people every day, like you do, Christian. A lot of effort to get these outdoor igloos so that people can feel protected if they go and they want to dine and it's cold out. That there is a place that at least they can get keep socially distant from other people. Now, if you get the way it's set up, as I understand it, you get a wristband, and you can go online, and we'll have the web address on the bottom of the screen. And what
Mhm.
does that wristband entitle you to?
So the wristband allows you to get 15% off on your hotel stays, 10% off on your meals, and this is regionally. There are places participating throughout the region. Um, there are hot chocolate stations in the village, so you can just walk in and show your wristband. You can get a fresh hot cup of hot chocolate for free. And then on Saturday afternoons, we'll have four horse drawing carriages in the village, acting almost like a taxi service. So you can just show your wristband, and your party, your household, can ride in a carriage. Only one household per carriage, and it's you can use it. You either use it to get from point A to point B, or to go for a nice carriage ride for free. And then also, as part of that, you get to choose one activity. And that's one of those activities we were talking about. So it could be, it was snowmobiling when it was still available, dog sled rides, axe throwing, cross country ski packages, fat tire mountain biking, axe throwing, a lot of fun events that really sort of represent the region that we're in.
Yeah, two that caught my attention too. Dog sledding. You know,
Mhm.
that's a great outdoor activity,
Yeah,
and of
yeah.
course snowshoeing too. You know,
Mhm.
we don't all have to be blazers down the mountain. Some of us actually enjoy cross country skiing and snowshoeing. And
That's right.
another point you made, I want to cycle back on. That's really important to the viewers, is that it's throughout the region. You know, we're so used to seeing Lake George Winter Carnival,
Mhm.
and of course there are a
Mhm.
lot of activities with the festival in downtown Lake George, but it is really throughout the region because if if you're looking at the trails, if you're looking at the variety of activities, well, then you're
Mhm.
going to want to move around.
Mhm.
The wristband idea, by the way, is terrific. Now, that wristband, is that good for the 4 weekends?
It is.
Okay.
So it's you can use it every weekend. We so many of the people who are coming to the Winterfest to participate in Winterfest are coming from outside the region. So the likelihood of them coming back is probably low, but for a local who wants to buy a wristband and wants to use it multiple weekends in a row, they can do that.
Yeah, you know, we do attract a lot of visitors from downstate and from other regions, but it's important to note that right here within our own capital district, let's say Albany North, you know, the opportunity there is to, you know, get a couple of wristbands, get some wristbands for your family, and then you're over the whole month of February, all 4 weekends, you'll be able to come up and participate in the activities. And when you get
Mhm.
there, you know, I noticed you get there and you find that you're participating in one activity and all of a sudden, oh, I'd like to try that. So, you know, come on
Mhm.
back the next weekend and give it a
Mhm.
try because the whole
Mhm.
thing is to keep our local economy strong and keep all our businesses just pointed in the right direction. Um, how was it working with everybody to try to get this together? You know a lot about putting events together. How did this one come together?
So this is a it's an unusual position for us because we usually run our own events. People know me from America, but we do a number of other events. But they're always our own events. We are captains of our own ship, and in
Mhm.
this case, we are operating sort of as a central node. But there are a number of voices that have a say in the creation of this. Ultimately, with the same objective, which is to create a safe moment, providing heads and beds. And it's frankly, it's been heartening. I mean, all of the
Yeah.
voices are, I mean, there's really very much a camaraderie about the team.
Mhm.
Um, and everybody has the same focus in mind, safety and heads and beds. So if we can do those two things simultaneously, it's been good. So I've really worked with this breadth of people from hotels, restaurants, activity providers throughout the region, the county level, the municipalities, the chambers. Oops, I just leave.
Nope, no, we're good.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
Yeah. So it's been, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
You know what? I'm going to tell a quick tale out of school here. You know, in these committee meetings that you and I participate in, there was a lot of talk about, oh, what kind of activities are we going to have? And of course, it went right away to snowmobiling and stuff like that. And someone said, oh, I think we should do a fishing challenge.
Mhm.
And I remember Gina saying, I don't know anything about fishing, but count me in. You know, it was just that sense of community where people were coming together and saying, what can I do? What can I do to make this happen? And
Well,
go ahead.
that's such a good example because there are, just to give you a little bit of backstory. So there are these things that people can choose when they get the Winterfest wristband. But separately, there are all these other things, and the ice fishing challenge is one of them. But there are many other things too. So we have these public activities that are listed on the page, and the ice fishing challenge, uh, that is an example of a separate team of people seized that idea and ran with it, and then I don't know, maybe a week or two later, it was presented to me to incorporate into the event, and it had its own great logo and concept, and it worked. So it's just these people went off and did what needed to be done really well, and came back and then just provided it to me. So a lot of people give me credit, but really it is a team effort to make this thing happen.
Oh, you know, it's. I was going to ask you what you'd like to close this interview with, and you're aiming right down that community effort
Mm.
lane, and it's really
Yeah.
true. I saw it.
Well,
Go ahead.
I would say this: the community for years has been talking about trying to build out the winter season, that this community could be a December, January, February winter destination. And through this narrow little lens, it's clear to me that it so easily could be done. And what I mean by that is you have these multitude of partners who are willing to join in, and the end product can be something that is expansive. It reaches into different regions and speaks to the people who are outside the region who want to come up and just become part of what they think we are, which is, living in the great white north and dog sledding and throwing axes and snowmobiling and stuff like that. And it's been received very well. And I think the community, this is a test bed, and I really think it could be done quite a bit more in the future.
I do too. I have a silver lining, right? Who'd have thunk? We get
That's
stuck,
right.
we got hit with this pandemic, and boy, people got
Mm.
creative. And
Yeah.
I really want to compliment you, Christian, and everybody you're working with. Everybody is so excited about this. So, viewers, you've seen the website at the bottom of the screen. I think it's winterfest.com. Please go there. You can find out how to get the wristband. I think they're only like $30 or something, and it entitles you to 4 weekends worth of activities and a place that you can feel safe, a place that you can be outdoor, and it's throughout the region. And you get to see a little bit about what we see every single day, right? Minus the axe throwing, by the way, Christian. I think I'll leave that to somebody else. Well, hey, thank you very much for taking the time. And,
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, sure. And I'll see you on the streets.
See ya.
Okay, take care.